Hello everyone, today we'll be going through a virtual tour of Murchison Middle School in Roblox. I went to this middle school and today I made a replica of it. It was a final project but it was not complete. So as we walk inside, I finally finished it just this week. We have the cafeteria right here. It's based off of the actual cafeteria, including the layouts of the tables. You would have 4 of these tables right here, and then 2 would have been 9 perpendicular. And then there would have been 2 water fountains right here and 3 garbage cans. I didn't really model the kitchen. I just have like this cabinet area right here, so nothing too special. I remember that there should have been microwaves here. And one time I put a hot pocket in here, but I accidentally pressed an extra 0 on it, so my hot pocket turned into charcoal. Alright, out here, this is like the exterior courtyard area. I remember they had these flags up. They had this one oak tree right here, and they had a bunch of benches. And there were 3 sets of doors and then a water fountain right here. Someone broke a window right here, and I forgot to mention someone also pulled the fire alarm right here many years ago. Alright, moving back here, here's the detention room. This used to be an art room, but it would flood all the time because it had poor drainage stuff. And then back here, this was a orchestra room, these 2 would have been orchestra rooms. This is the band hall. So in the band hall, you have the small practice rooms, and you had 2 larger rooms here. So this would have been a practice room, and then another one, and this has been the main building. You have Freddy Fazbear right there. Then right here was the assisted learning room. I never went inside. So coming outside here, this would have been the back area. We would have had 2 gardens right here. I never went to the gardens, but they were there. It's like a gardening class of some sort. So walking back into the main building right here, we can go down to we go through the doors for the locker room, and then right here there's the small gym. So this is just like a secondary gym, and they would have kept like supplies back here, and they would have had like the running little cart things. So anyways, back here would have been 2 offices for the coaches. This would have been a locker room, and this would have been the weights room that extended to both sides. This would have been more offices for coaches, and this is the other locker room that they had. So this is more offices. And then walking back out here, we can go into the gym, and then on the gym, you see that's all the awards they've gotten. These bleachers could have like folded out right here, and there was a giant there was a basketball thing painted on the ground. So walking back out here, there was this area with it was just like a seat or something. So alright, so walking back here, these would have been Spanish classrooms, I was pretty sure, and their layout is a little bit weird in here. And then here would have been the teacher's lounge. There would have been tables and vending machines here. Apparently the vending machines actually didn't need money. You could just press the button for a drink, and the kids learned to do that. They just press it to get free drinks. Over here would have been offices. This would have been a bathroom. Actually, 2 bathrooms. Offices. This is the help desk. The front is a check-in office. Yeah, and these would have been the double doors to get in. So you would have gotten through this door here, gone here, check in, and then you go through this door right here. Yeah, I was pretty sure how you did that. Yes, so now we go to the B building. The B building had these 2 bathrooms on here. They were perpetually vandalized, and they were super dirty, so I never liked going into them. This was a U.S. history classroom that I went to with Miss Livingston in 8th grade. These were both other U.S. history classrooms. So this is the only buildings that still had the lockers inside. This U.S. history teacher, he looked like the Wendigoon guy. The Wendigoon channel guy. Alright, so this was like a history classroom as well. This was another history classroom. Walking up here, this was an English classroom, but what was it? The teacher made the room much more like an antique store. Don't mind that. Right here, this was another English classroom. So the second floor was all English classrooms. This was my 7th grade English classroom. These two were like ventilation or like just like mechanical rooms. This stairs down there would have been a fire alarm here. Someone pulled that fire alarm many years ago, and this is a Chinese classroom. So walking back here through the bridge right here between the two, you go back to the main building. Here's the science hall, and then both sides would have been science classrooms. I remember, yeah, there was like a really nice science teacher here. And then this is the stairs that go back down to the cafeteria right down there. So if I climb back up here, this was another bathroom that would be perpetually vandalized all the time. This was an art room. Miss Escamilla was in here. And this is just put that there. Anyways, this is another bathroom. So this is the math hall. I remember that I was in this room, I think in 7th grade, and people were stealing the candy from the teacher. I climbed outside or something. So, yeah. And then in this room, was it Miss McCampbell's room? Someone threw a Chromebook out the window. So, walking all the way back here, this would have been a choir room. Yeah, so this is choir. And then if we go outside here, this goes to the 6th grade center, as they called it, the C building. So if you go inside, these would have been teachers' offices, and it would have this large open area in here. This usually was an art room of some sort, and these would have been foreign language classrooms. So all the way on the 3rd floor, on the top floor, I barely went to this place, the top floor, but it had like some world geography classes up here. Down the 1st floor, this room was an art room. And these two were bathrooms, but they were also, like, really, really dirty bathrooms because, like, people just didn't, like... It was 6th grader, so it was, like, really dirty. Okay, so if we go out here, we go to there's a tennis field right here, and then there was the robotics buildings. And there was also, like, yearbook was in here. That was my advisory in 7th grade. These were all robotics buildings. So... coming away from there, I'll show you this place was like an outside learning area. You had a parking lot right here, and then you had the big AC ventilation ducts right here. So if we climb back out here, this would have been, I think theater was here. One of the theater classes were here. And then if I go a bit further, that was a storage room. The counselor had wooden rooms, which is really nice. So this was a storage room. I think this was the old detention room, if I recall correctly. Yeah, this was the old detention room. And then this was another bathroom. This was the main theater room, chicken jockey. And then this is the other... this is the other bathroom on this side. I remember if I go up here into this bathroom, I snuck into this bathroom to play Clash of Clans in 8th grade. Alright, let's go back downstairs. So, now we'll just, I think we're finished. Yeah, we'll just check out the library. Roblox gift card, and then you got the bookshelves in here, and they had computers I'd use all the time. And this was like the server room of some sort. And then back here you had these additional small rooms. Right here, these like just the individual learning rooms. And this was a teacher's office. It had 2 doors, pretty nice. So that is, as far as I know, the complete tour for the school. So anyways, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and share this video.